Hello, my name is Elizabeth Aviles, and I am going to present to you my proposal for the Midwife's House, a birth and wellness center for all women in Collin County and the surrounding areas. The Midwife's House will be the first nonprofit community-funded wellness and birth center in Collin County. It'll be a haven for all women seeking high-quality, midwifery-led primary care and low-intervention births that will care for a diverse population and will decrease health disparities by bringing health equity to the marginalized and underserved in the community. Collin County is the sixth most populated county in Texas, with a projected population of over 1 million in the next year, and continues to grow rapidly compared to the rest of the United States. Collin County is an athletically and culturally diverse, thriving, financially healthy community. Compared to Texas State and the rest of the nation, on average, Collin County residents have higher degrees of education, make more money, have greater percentage of home ownership, own more expensive homes, have a lower percentage of people below the poverty level, have lower unemployment rates, and lower Medicaid reimbursed births. Maternity newborn health services offered to the overall healthy pregnant women and infants in Collin County are primarily provided by obstetricians, and most births take place in hospitals. Only 4.2% of births are attended by midwives. Collin County has several birth centers and home birth services available, none of which currently accepts Medicaid insured clients because of low reimbursement rates. As the first non-for-profit, community-funded birth center in Collin County, the Midwife's House plans to increase the total number of all women insured and underinsured that are cared for by evidence-based practicing midwives. And we will utilize funding to bridge the financial gap that makes it prohibitive for current birth centers to open their doors to the indigent. Collin County surpasses most healthy people 2020 goals. One would think that a county with such a healthy economic and maternal child indicator profile would have little trouble achieving all healthy people 2020 goals. However, Collin County's high cesarean section rates and low vaginal birth after cesarean section greatly underperforms healthy people 2020 goals. The Midwife's House will improve these measurable goals by supporting and increasing the number of normal physiologic births and offering women the option of a vaginal birth after a cesarean section, hence decreasing overall cesarean section rates, with our overall goal of maintaining cesarean section rates at less than 10%. Collin County is rated a top performer with teen birth rates under 15%. However, there is evidence of racial disparities when we closely examine teen pregnancy. It is here where the so-called minorities become a majority. In addition, as of 2014, there has been a sudden rise in chlamydia infections. Prior to this, Collin County's rate of infections were less than half of Texas state and national levels. This is an area of great concern, as it is a sign of unprotected sex that could predict a rise in other reproductive health issues. With strategic plans to be located in downtown Plano, the Midwife's House will be geographically accessible to a marginalized population. Teen pregnancy and rising STD rates will be addressed by community outreach to schools with high percentages of minority students and high teen pregnancy rates. For example, Williams High School in downtown Plano has an enrollment of 1,200 students, 75% of which are minority enrollment, and 45% are economically disadvantaged. Stark contrast to Collin County data. We will invite students to visit and volunteer at the birth center and to consider nurse midwifery as a career goal. The Midwife's House is dedicated to incorporating the ACNM hallmarks of midwifery through healthcare partnership with diverse people, a holistic and wellness approach to life cycles that guards normality and protects women from the maze of medical interventions and overtreatment of normal childbirth, and also through ethical and evidence-based practices. The Midwife's House will be a 501c3 organization controlled by a board of directors. Hence, we will benefit from tax-deductible donations and grants. We will refrain from participation in lobbying activities to remain compliant with our 501(c)(3) regulations. The Midwife's House anticipates 1,300 patient visits the first year and 1,600 the second year, based on a 25% projected growth. 50% will be pregnancy and newborn related visits, and 50% will be primary care visits. There will be a good payer mix, initially commercial, and self pay will dominate until word of mouth gets around that the Midwife's House accepts Medicaid, at which point the Medicaid insured payers will also increase. Here's my first and second year revenue expense summary. I'm falling behind at 42,000 lost the first year, but then we come out ahead on the second year. Our plan for financial growth and to recover losses are listed on the provider directory for AmeriGroupship to increase the number of paid visits. The Midwife's House will stamp its professional presence in the community through outreach at community events. We will implement hallmarks of midwifery in our services to ensure the delivery of good outcomes. We will keep careful records to demonstrate the benefits and quality of the work that we do. The evidence from our outcomes. We will use the evidence from our outcomes as compelling argument for increased funding and ensure patient satisfaction and benefit from word of mouth marketing. We will partner and network with local groups such as pregnancy crisis centers, WIC, and WIC program leaders, and increase traffic, visibility, and clientele by sponsoring and offering meeting space for professional meetings at the birth center. Birth centers are an evidence-based model of care that needs to be accessible to all women. Research states that when freestanding birth centers provide maternity care for women and infants who are Medicaid or CHIP beneficiaries, outcomes improves and costs decrease. In order to reduce the American people healthcare debt, it is imperative that the community and the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid heavily invest in funding for midwifery-led birth centers and midwifery education, and that it dedicate efforts to defend our profession and promote our services. Thank you for your attention. I hope this presentation gives you insight to the special work that freestanding birth center midwives do, and that you are inspired to join our efforts by donating some of your time or finances to the Midwife's House. Here are my references. And some more. Thank you again for listening.